New tonight at 10, we're just hours from the polls opening throughout our area, and voters in Marshfield will have some big decisions to make.
One item on the ballot, a public safety referendum, which would in part provide funding to hire 9 firefighter paramedics in Marshfield. I spent the morning at the fire station to see why they say this is so needed.
Chief Letty has been with Marshfield Fire and Rescue since 1997. He says back in 1999, they were running about 2,100 calls a year. Last year, there were over 4,000.
And that's really the main driver for this referendum. When I started, our staffing level per shift was at 10 people per shift. Right now, we're sitting at 11.
In addition to responses where every second matters, he says they do a number of trainings, maintenance, and fire inspections.
We've been trying to implement a couple different new programs, and we just can't get to them because we're always out on calls.
We've always had a premium level of service provided to our citizens, and my concern is with this is we're getting so busy with the ambulance that we're going to see a reduction in that service because we just don't have the same amount of people responding to calls with it.
Weiland says things have somewhat changed over the years in terms of what fire departments do.
Back in the day we did firefighting and we did EMS, and now we do firefighting, we do EMS, we do hazardous materials, we do confined space rescues, we do high angle rescues.
He says things keep changing in society where there are more missions for departments to take on.
One is the active shooter scenarios that we have. So we have RTF teams, rescue task force teams, where now we have to train with the police department to go in sooner so that we can provide care. And not to mention the advances in paramedic care.
He says it goes beyond responding to calls, but making sure staff is taking care of their mental health.
I know everyone has stresses in their jobs and things, but we see some things that people typically aren't going to see in their lifetime, or might see once or twice, where people are being exposed to it all the time. And as our call numbers go up, you're being exposed to even more of that stress with it.
And there can be an impact on their days off as well.
When I go home tomorrow morning, and if I'm up all night, I'm taking that time, and now I'm trying to catch up on sleep, which is not a big deal. I'll do it, but it also affects taking care of my kids at home as well.
Chief Letty says if the referendum does not pass, they will still serve Marshfield.
We're to the point where we're sending 4 and 5 ambulances out. We're running out of staff to respond immediately. And our people signed up for this job to help people immediately, and we want to get there as fast as we can.
But it's taking a toll.
And tomorrow is, of course, Election Day. Polls open across the state at 7 a.m. and will stay open until 8 p.m. But as long as you're in line by the time polls close, you will be allowed to vote. Remember that you'll need a form of photo ID with you, whether that be a driver's license, student, or military ID. We'll have full results coverage on air and on our website.